Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 2019 LCK Summer. We're here for game number 2 between KingZone and SANDBOX. KingZone walking away with the victory, and Cuzz at the helm. Felt like Cuzz giveth, Cuzz taketh away in game number 1, but he was definitely given more than he was given away.
Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about the MVP and how it was actually a little bit difficult for us to decide on who would end up getting it. And Cuzz, he, you know, when he hits stuff, things happen.
Exactly.
That is what happened. Okay, well,
we're straight in there. We're straight in there. We're banning and we're picking immediately. Yeah. LS, we don't mess around here anymore. This is summer. This is time to go fast.
Thomas Kench.
Thomas Kench going to be the first ban. So it's obvious that KingZone are not LS fans.
Korea is just going to make Riot rework this champion. That is what is trying to be done here.
Well, Xayah is going to be banned away, not wanting to give Deft too many options here. As far as that 80 carry choice is with the Rise ban, SANDBOX are almost priced into Yuumi here, or looking at potentially leaving that one up and experimenting with some different situations. Now, I want to talk to you about Yuumi because her win rate is not high. In fact, it's 0% across LCK and LEC at the moment. And I want to know the reasoning for that, because they've been pairing the cat with the boy in the Ezreal a little bit.
Tell me who played it in Europe.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I mean...
Yeah, I just caught you in a pickle there, didn't I?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not...
And it's not that I don't know.
Imagine saying Yuumi had a 0% win rate in NA, and then you tell me 100 Thieves is the only team playing it. Come on.
And we had this conversation, and I'm thinking that if you've got a Yuumi, then that means that you've got twice as much bang on your team, which means, in theory, they'd look better, right? Like, if there's a way to win, if you're 100 Thieves, it's just everyone just to be banged, because the guy's pretty good at the game, even if he hasn't been winning so much.
Well, Yuumi doesn't look like KingZone are actually interested in taking it. It's so surprising to be seeing it banned away on blue side sometimes. Instead, they want their Sejuani priority.
I actually really like this. I think it's better than first picking the Aatrox if you're not willing to flex it all over the place.
Ryze is banned away this time, though, although Aatrox was moved into the jungle for a SANDBOX.
And also, Dove played it a lot in spring season, so this is theoretically a 3-way flex for SANDBOX if they want to play it that way. The Irelia is another one, and as soon as the Sejuani's locked in, a lot of these melee carries do have to be considered as far as pickaways to deny their incredible potency in combination with the Freljordian Pig Lady.
The interesting thing here, you know, Aatrox as an answer to Sejuani jungle.
Okay, here we go.
There's a better Darken that does a little bit better.
Ooh.
Probably won't see it. Probably won't see Rost up here, but
there have been teams that have been experimenting with the Sejuani top lane as well. Oh my god, we're doing it.
Oh man.
And KingZone know now that they don't necessarily need Tarek alongside this Sona.
Tom is banned though. So it's not the Sona Tom. Not so.
It's not Sona Tom. It's theoretically not Sona Tarek because
what if it's Sona Jungle?
What if it's Sona Pike?
What if it's Sona Tom?
Dude, Sona Pike.
That doesn't sound. What?
It sounds really fun. Even if
Shen.
you just okay, Joker going back to an old favorite, most likely. As this means that the gank potential coming in from the Bash Bros that have already been put in the Irelia and the Aatrox is certainly really, really powerful. If that Aatrox is going back into the jungle.
You know, I think one of the best ways to actually beat Sona X is to just pick something super hyper all-in aggressive and just really take it to it. So maybe we'll see Shen Lucian or Shen Draven end up coming out against it and then them just try to face roll it.
Well, it could be an option. This Tarek ban was something that we assumed was going to happen, right? Like, that was definitely a thing. So KingZone obviously have another plan, another pairing with this Sona. We've seen the Tahm Kench be powerful already, but that's been banned. That was banned by KingZone very early on in this draft. So I want to know what the thought is. Maybe it's even just, let's put Sona in the support position, pair it with Deft's Ezreal maybe, and bring back one of the most annoying lanes in existence. The Pike is going to be the ban here, so my consideration, my plan, my idea is thrown out the window by SANDBOX's banning team. Makes me pretty sad, because TusiN's Pike was really potent alongside the Victor that Deft was piloting in their last series against Gen G.
And I really do have to wonder what is going to be the support that is accompanying Sona. I'm actually at a loss. I don't know what else.
Do you just farm with a Braum for the first 10 minutes of the game? I don't know.
Well, SANDBOX is going to have to show their hand in some regard.
I actually think that they're just going to have Sona support. That's my feeling. That's my gut feeling. But crazy things have happened.
Vladimir.
Okay, Vlad's going to get locked in. This means that it's likely going into a solo lane, but Ghost could be playing it.
Yeah, it could be
because
Ghost.
That Vladimir Shen lane has been a favorite in the past. It's not powerful, but it does great things as you transition to later in the game. And that was where SANDBOX fell down in game number 1, so maybe going for a little bit more scaling. Neeko being considered here.
Now this is a champion I'm really surprised not to be seeing higher priority on it. Given her versatility, she can go AD, she can go AP, she's able to be quadra-flexed.
Yeah, that's true.
In theory. And so,
haven't
very
seen
surprised.
Too many Neeko jungles recently.
Well, top mid
we could have the
AD
quintuple
support.
flex.
Yeah, there you go.
Need to get that Neeko jungling. No,
Let's
not
see.
happening just yet. As
Galio.
the Galio is going to be locked in. So where is everything going, LS? Riddle me this. Is that Galio support alongside the Sona? I mean,
I don't. Yeah, I actually don't know where everything is going. I'm assuming that it's Galio support, Neeko top lane, Camille mid lane.
Because if you think about it,
But
right? What has
Neeko is awful against Irelia. Neeko is so bad against Irelia, and they have so much CC on their team. And Olaf, there's very few times where I'll say that Olaf is okay. Is that Sona top? No, you get hit by one Irelia E, you die.
I mean, at the moment, it's Sona top. But I have a feeling that we're going to do
mid?
some switching. No, it's going to be Naehyun playing the Neeko. They're just taking their time. They're messing with us. There we go.
I mean, okay.
There we go.
All right. So that's gonna probably be AP Neeko in the middle lane against the Aatrox. And so we have Camille against Irelia up in top.
The thing that I find really scary is that Olaf snuck all the way through until final pick for SANDBOX, and he is so good in the jungle at the moment. If you've been watching any LPL, the guy is definitely the most powerful jungler in that region at the moment, and they've been playing fast and loose, and that's exactly the way SANDBOX has been playing.
So Camille, Sejuani, Neeko, Sona, and Galio, not the most traditional bot lane, or picks for that matter. But this is an interesting team composition that it has a lot of scaling inside of it, but it definitely has a lot of early game potency, even without items, just due to the nature of the champions.
I'm just looking at it from a SANDBOX perspective. As we see here, the team composition, the Vlad Shen lane that they've loved forever, the Aatrox heading into the mid lane this time around with Olaf and Irelia towards the top side and the jungle. I don't know, I feel like this team composition wants to just pile in on top of Kingzone, and Kingzone have so many tools and so many different AoE CCs that they will be able to deal with this style of composition. When it comes to what SANDBOX are offering, you understand what it is, but Kingzone's tools are certainly there to deal with it.
Yeah.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
SANDBOX fans out in force here today as we're into game number 2. Can we bring it to a 3-game series where it will mean that one of these teams will be equalizing with Griffin after this match? Kingzone win here, they will be outright first.
You know, I actually think that we're destined for a 2-0 because otherwise it means that the equilibrium between Griffin and Jin remains, so we have to break that.
Okay, that's a good point.
It's a new split, so...
It's a new split, and it's also a new Sona pairing. So I'm actually really excited about this, and I'm hoping that Kingzone can show us exactly why this bottom lane was chosen. I want to talk about the changes to Galio, because support was nerfed just a little bit, but the scaling was improved. And the last time we saw Galio in the support position, he actually went for the Zhonya's Hourglass. And it will mean that TusiN will be getting a bunch more money because Deft isn't going to be farming at the beginning of the game. He's going to be harassing. And the Galio will have access to a lot more money on this map. So you can understand why. Deft is in the mid lane, though, at the moment.
The thing I'm worried about for them going forward, though, is that due to all of the CC on the team composition, it's really...
Deft is in the mid lane, by the way.
Yeah.
Definitely Deft. Guaranteed.
Definitely Deft. Alright, so... with all the CC on their team comp, it is going to make it so that SANDBOX wants to get a lot of Mercury Treads, which is natural magic resist.
Yep.
And so, with the only source of physical damage coming from the Camille, it's really easy for the SANDBOX team composition to stack magic resist and be very tanky and durable inside of the team fights. Wit's End on Irelia, Maw of Malmortius on Aatrox. There's a lot of things that can get really ugly for Kingzone even though they have the scaling component. So it almost feels like to me they have to get ahead pre-20, which is probably not what they envision with this type of a team comp.
The thing that I find really interesting is that we've seen these Sona X lanes attacked in a lot of different ways, right? The Invictus Gaming method was kill it over and over again, and if you're an SKT fan, like most of us are, you would have been very, very sad watching that game. Fastest international game of all time. Breaking records are SKT, it's just the wrong way around at that point in time. However, the other way that you can do it is by just vacating the lane that we saw G2 put to great effect with their funnel composition. This is neither of those things. This is literally sacking the lane and saying we're going to scale alongside you with a similar idea in this Vladimir lane that Ghost and Joker are putting in. So they're almost saying, like, we don't care about this early game, we'll cop all of the abuse, but then we'll be just as powerful in the later stages. So I'm excited to see whether this Sona lane is going to be able to do exactly what Sona lanes want to do and dominate, even if it is up against the scaling power of the Vladimir that you see.
We'll see what they end up doing with it as well, given that Deft doesn't have teleport available, so has to definitely be conscious of his mana pool down here. Having to take the cleanse, respecting the Shen and the Vladimir's ability to all in and try to get a kill onto her. So far though, the early game doesn't have a lot of chaos unfolding. There's no jungle camps currently available for either jungler.
Yeah, we're going to get the first back to come in. OnFleek, he is venturing back into his jungle now. Does have himself the Skirmisher Saber, and it's Cinderhulk that Cuzz is building up towards that Barmy Cinder already completed here. So both of them going to be continuing to farm out this jungle very, very effectively. Speaking of farming effectively, Summit is smashing Rascal at the moment in this farm, because that's a good stun to stop Rascal from being able to last hit a few of these creeps. Right versus Naehyun here in the mid lane is range advantage, obviously, so Naehyun's going to have a decent time, but I think with Glacial Augment, you're going to be feeling even better on the Neeko as far as controlling the Aatrox and how he's going to be able to threaten you with these all-ins as the game goes on.
Have to see how the game evolves. Also, the mid lane dynamic between this matchup is definitely going to be more favorable for Aatrox against the AP variant of Neeko. It's really difficult to freeze and zone inside of the mid lane, the Aatrox, and so AP Neeko doesn't have the easiest of time compared to top lane AP Neeko.
Well, here on the bottom side, it's really interesting thinking about which lane is winning, because currently Ghost is 200 gold ahead of Deft, but TusiN is a whole bunch over Joker, because he's been farming it out against the Vladimir. 33 to 29 is the CS margin on the bottom side, with Deft picking up minions here and there, as Summit is going to put this wave into a very frustrating position for Rascal to deal with, as he's looking to teleport back into this lane.
And you can see that Olaf, he's coming top with the golems, and this is going to make it so that if Cuzz would try to show up to unlock this freeze, which he really does need to do. I don't know how Rascal can actually get out of this on his own unless Summit would make a blunder, but this is really looking like it is going to end up resulting in Rascal dying.
Right now, Summit's actually taking a lot of minion damage.
Yeah.
Rascal utilizing that physical shield very effectively. And he's going to win out on the trade, even though he did actually nothing. in that situation. Right now he's still behind by a lot. Ninjatabi was picked up just to try and keep this lane sorted out. But I have a feeling that Kingzone are okay with, unless he dies, with Rascal just being behind and trying to weather the storm.
And Summit still has teleport available. So there's a lot of things definitely going his way right now. You can just see the CS advantage. Yes, there's an incoming minion wave, but Rascal forced to recall again. I don't believe that Summit will actually cause him to lose too much CS. You can see he's almost halfway back to the lane already.
Rav here, gonna have the permafrost down as Joker loses the aftershock, but Kingzone not able to react in time to Cuzz picking off the support.
Kleptomancy is an interesting rune.
It is.
It is, it's birthed many, many things.
Some of them weird.
Yeah.
Some of them wonderful.
Oh, okay, 2 gold satchels, huh?
Yeah.
That was real good. Wow, you're so good.
Skill.
So good.
There was an old saying which was better players crit more.
Yeah.
And I think the new saying is better players get more gold sacks out of their Kleptomancy.
I mean, it makes sense.
Proving that he's definitely a good player. There's the flash in.
That was a
really
great
nice Justice
cancel.
Punch. Yeah, exactly right from TusiN. Doesn't have aftershock anymore. There are 4 members down here. That's a triple taunt. Joker gonna go down very low. He's still burning as finally Naehyun gets in there. Pop Blossom for a double stun, but he's pulled back into the Infernal Chains, and it's a double kill for Ghost on the bottom side. You do not need to be a mathematician to calculate who came out on top of that one.
That was looking like it was going to be really, really good for Kingzone, but then it just turned right back around in SANDBOX's favor. So the Justice Punch to cancel the taunt was done so well, and then TusiN was getting a really interesting idea. It would have been one more auto attack to kill Joker. That would have actually allowed Naehyun to throw his snare elsewhere, but just didn't matter as they had the numbers.
나이스. 올라갈게 나.
아, 감사합니다.
생각했다. 이거 이동 많이 봤다.
Yeah, nice.
갈게,
Thanks
이거.
for the kill.
오케이.
As Rascal has to flash. He's going to get flashed after by Summit, who's happy to stand underneath, but does have the ultimate. Summit! Oh, the last turret shot, not there! The calculation for the SANDBOX top laner.
So things are definitely going SANDBOX's way this game as well early on.
Man, that was close to a turnaround, but oh.
And you can already see the magic
upset if you're
resist
Rascal.
is coming out on the team composition. Mercury Tread's already completed for Dove here on the Aatrox in the mid lane. No Magic Mantle on the Vlad. We take another quick look at this. So Rascal, he just wants to trade and get the wave crashing into the turret. Summit had other plans in mind as he flashes in. This was a really good cancel with the Camille ultimate, but the last turret shot, as you were saying, just wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah, able to get out of there just in time.
아, 못해.
It's okay.
It's okay, it's okay.
말해 뭐해.
여기 레드 세줘.
Oh, wow. Summit. He knows that that was certainly a close one. As Kingzone here on the bottom side of the map, the Frostmancy has completed. So Deft is able to farm again. See whether that means that the Sona can become one of the powerhouse points here for Kingzone on this map. 1,000 gold is currently the lead for SANDBOX, but the scary thing is that a lot of that gold is on Ghost. You can see 150 on that gold bounty already, and if there's a gold bounty on a Vladimir at 10 minutes into the game, you know something's gone horrendously wrong.
And the question for me is, how do they get themselves out of this? Again, their only source of physical damage is on the Camille. She's really far behind right now, and she's also even further stunted by the fact that she had to purchase tier 2 boots very early. SANDBOX, they're also going to get themselves a Mountain Drake, which means it's going to be very easy for them to capture Baron early on, as well as just raise tier 1 and tier 2 turrets. And we're only at 10 minutes here, so the Mountain Drake's actually very helpful with getting plates.
Well, the other thing is that the Rift Herald is being started and will be completed here by Kingzone in the meantime. Summit's going to roam on over. The Aatrox is coming in as well. Great ultimate there out of Cuzz, but they're not out of the woods just yet. That's the taunt up, and Rascal is going to be the sacrificial lamb. SANDBOX take him down, but Kingzone do manage to pick up that Rift Herald.
They get the Rift Herald, they get the Stand United out of Shen, as well as a rotation from the enemy team, so they're going to lose a little bit of gold down in the bottom minion wave, and so when all things are considered, you get the Rift Herald, the 100 gold, whatnot.
Yep.
It's not the end of the world, but Rascal falls further and further behind. Summit is level 9.
Yeah, and 35 CS is going to be the lead. 3 turret plates down here, and Rascal needs to be able to pick up all the gold from these plates. Cuzz needs to be able to put Shelly into this lane so that Rascal can come back. Unless they're trying to push another wave even further forward.
They might just try to accelerate Deft.
Well, could be an option here. As you can see, happy to go 1 versus 2 here as the taunt is going to land. But Joker is there completely by himself. Aftershock's going to wear off. It's a good knock-up there from TusiN as Ghost finally turns up, but isn't able to really offer too much. Deft running low on mana, but you can see this W is really starting to make sure that Kingzone can stay permanently in this lane as long as that blue bar is at least halfway full for Deft.
It's really surprising, actually, that the trade by Joker was really poor. Put him at a very low HP value. You can see that Deft is completely fine. He's all the way back up.
He's pianoing his keyboard very effectively here, LS. If you're a Sona player, that's exactly how you're supposed to play this one out. Aatrox roaming down towards the bottom side. 4 members lurking here. As Rascal once again going to push forward. Summit probably pretty happy about this. Almost has Trinity Force completed. And Rascal only has a little move fast hammer, which is not what you'd be wanting against the Sheen, the Tiamat, all of the bevy of items that Summit has put together.
The itemization difference, talking about items in top lane.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's feels bad.
Yeah, feels real bad. Feels okay on the bottom side though, as Archangel's now been completed for Deft. Those mana issues that he was struggling with before are going to be a thing of the past as Song of Celerity gets in towards this lane quite easily.
Also, he has now started farming up, so we're going to try catching up to the Vladimir.
And you can see Cuzz is looking to push Shelly here towards the bottom side, clearing out the wave very, very quickly. Will throw that one down. There are no taunts to come into that rush. Yeah, cannon's going to be missed, but it'll be made up for by all of these turret plates heading into the hands of this Sona.
And the Sejuani as well, so it's a lot of turret plates. Dove down here. There's a level advantage as well on Cuzz. And the level advantages across the border, one of the things to keep note of, it's probably about a level and a half up in top lane, 1 level inside of the jungle. Oh, although, Cuzz did just get... Okay.
Yeah, level 9, okay. So Rascal is getting attacked by Summit over and over again. Now underneath this turret as Summit's looking to try and knock this one down if he can. First turret blood still on the board as the turret survived on the bottom side. It was a roam from Dove making his way towards the bottom side that got in there. You can see Naehyun's not able to really keep Dove in a great position. There's a cheeky little ghost borrow that Dove hadn't dealt with yet. Naehyun is able to even things up. 12 CS is going to be the lead for the Aatrox in the mid.
2 levels in top.
Yeah, this is real scary.
That's some nightmare fuel.
But at least Rascal's able to hold on to this turret. Keeps at least 1 turret plate alive. And they were able to get more as the bottom lane only had 1 remaining plate left. Still a really interesting game, right? It's hard to say that SANDBOX are definitively winning, even though they do have a slight gold advantage and the kill advantage, of course, just because Frostmancy is a really weird thing.
Yeah. Frostmancy is very interesting. I'm actually curious to see how much more gold he can end up getting. Sometimes you get the Sona games where you only have about 300 in Klepto, which is, you just feel really bad. And other times you check it and you have 1,000. Just wonder.
Well, this is the thing, like, a Shen just takes abuse in lane. That's exactly what you want to be doing as the Frostmancy is Dove, trying to get out of the way. That's the permafrost, though, can't dodge that one. Infernal Chain's not going to find the mark, and they spot OnFleek and decide not to go any further forward. World Ender now on cooldown, but that flash was just about to come back up, and Cuzz was unable to grab that kill.
Looking at the itemization, Mercury treads on everyone right now, and you can probably bet that it'll end up on Vladimir as well.
Yeah, you'd hope so. That's why he's got a non-magic mantle.
And now a second Mountain Drink, which is probably the best dragon that they could have hoped to roll, because now this means Baron at 20 minutes is almost a surety. Off of 1 pick. That's all that it's going to take. Sona team compositions, by nature, are often kind of bad at taking Baron. in terms of the speed and whatnot. So with double Mountain Drake, Ocean coming up next, things are not looking very good right now if you're a Kingzone fan. And I have to wonder, how effective is their team fighting going to be? Camille's still a little bit ways away from the Trinity Force, and all of their CC is just going to be completely hindered.
Well, what I'm looking at is Kingzone having the ability to pile in onto one person very, very well, and then follow up any re-engage with things like the Hero's Entrance, things like the Crescendo, because Pop Blossom's going to be great, as well as the Hextech Ultimatum that Rascal will be able to use to bring someone out on their own and lock them down. They do have just AoE ultimates aplenty on this roster. In fact, everyone has great teamfight tools as an arbor.
Yeah. Rascal freezing, interestingly. We don't actually see... Okay, never mind. That's not...
Doesn't want to. At this point, there's too much pressure here from SANDBOX anyway. Good hook shot's going to get a stun there as Sonic gets no value out of his W. Cuzz will turn up though, he finds the ultimate there, max range. Stand United comes in as Summit's trying to turn this one around, but Hero's Entrance comes down as well. That's going to be the shutdown as the Camille finally gets one back, and TusiN is chasing after. We're waiting for an Arctic Assault as Permafrost is going to land, and Joker is not escaping this one either. There we go, TusiN should get in there and punches
the haymaker
to death. SANDBOX on the bottom side will get a turret, but Kingzone get 2 kills.
Yeah, they get 2 kills and they get it on the Irelia, which is really, really important right now because Rascal was essentially 6 feet under in this game here, and now that is a massive tempo swing, at least up in the top lane.
Able to get one of those kills as well, so really, really important here for Rascal to be able to lock down that extra money. Trinity Force is now completed as well, as that's a lot of damage on OnFleek actually, as all of these buttons are going to hit the mark. Deft looking for that crescendo, but not going to be out 100-0 on Aatrox at this point. Or probably at any point, let's be honest.
We'll take another quick look at this. That's a nice hook shot to start this all off. Cuzz dropped what he was doing immediately. You don't get that in solo queue.
Hell no.
Immediately go up into the top lane. Hero's Entrance was here as well, and Joker, try as he might to save his teammate, wasn't quite able to do so, and then it was truly a team effort to bring down the Shen.
It was the pilot.
Yeah. They have the haymaker from Galio right there.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
It's actually a very satisfying auto attack animation. And it's not even the colossal smash, you know?
Do you have a favorite one?
Favorite auto attack animation?
Mine is, you know when Ornn does the just get out of here one?
No. Throw cogs at him, man. That's what I want.
No.
That's why Crit Zillion is definitely the best champion in the game.
What?
Crit clock. Just stack that crit, dude. That's what you gotta do.
Imagine being an ADC that has such a slow and the ability to self-revive.
Yeah.
You're onto something, Atlas.
Yeah. That's called having potentially 2 Guardian Angels. Although Guardian Angel doesn't have crit on it, so the idea is to have like 250% crit if you can get there. Even if it doesn't do anything, that's just really important.
Blue Zillion.
Blue Zillion.
Just get it out there. Monomune, whatever else you need.
Well, OnFleek's going to turn up. TusiN's here as well. Hero's Entrance not available just yet. So do manage to get one of the stuns. Some cute knockups here coming in as Teleport from Kingzone will bring an extra member here. Pop Blossom is huge as the SANDBOX players evaporate. Now Deft is looking for more. He can flash Crescendo. They do have the vision available, but in the meantime, Dove on the bottom side is getting a bunch of work done. This inner turret is not long for the world as we've got teleports in on this Baron buff. 20 seconds on the jungler, 20 seconds on the teleport top laner. Ghost can flash into this pit if he wants to, as Joker is here.
It does take them quite a while.
Yeah, Rascal's going to get over the top. It's Deft with a Crescendo, just picks him off. Rascal there as well, as the peel is only half working. Kingzone will be able to take down the Baron. They get the pick off on the Vladimir, and I feel like it's a role reversal.
The game again.
Yeah. It's exactly what happened in game number 1 at about this stage. In fact, it was later in game 1, but on SANDBOX's side.
This is, I mean, it's really looking like Summit is the prodigy of Khan because he's just always overextended in his lane, getting picked off and dying. And you have to feel really bad given how far ahead you were. Look at him. Look at the mini-map right now. Why are you here?
Well, I mean,
there's
I
no
don't
reason.
have the answer for you.
We're really quick to capitalize on this. Naehyun comes right in, Pop Blossom popping everything right there. And then, as soon as it goes over to the Baron, Deft, he put on some Lady Gaga. He told Ghost to just dance.
Yeah, he did.
Rascal was really quick to help him get the kill right there. And Dove and Joker, they couldn't do anything at that point. So it doesn't matter how long it took them to do the Baron. There's just no resistance present from SANDBOX.
The thing is, like, Kingzone can also stand in that Baron pit forever because they have Deft playing piano on his keyboard, pressing that W whenever it's up.
Yeah.
And as he gets more and more levels, that's going to become even easier. The next Baron that's on the map, Deft is going to have some extra levels. That cooldown reduction is going to be ludicrous. As you can see, he's already playing so aggressively. Joker is struck by the crescendo, but Deft, even underneath these turrets, straight up does not care.
Also the Athenes.
Okay, that's a double taunt coming in, but the ultimate is going to come back. Can the Hemoplague do anything? The answer is a straight up no as Dove turns up a little bit too late. Now Summit's trying to dance around the fight, but it is just not enough. The flash forward from Dove does manage to find one of them. He will have that reset on the World Ender, but he can't get around the Wolf Pit. Oh no.
Ring around the... Oh, Dove has to be really careful.
And you can see Deft is able to press... He's pressing W again, LS.
Everyone's
He's pressing
full.
W again.
Twin Shadows, the Ghosts.
Yeah, Dove can't get in here, and it's OnFleek that's going to get picked off. The pickoffs are just too easy for Kingzone.
And I really like how proactive and aggressive Kingzone are actually being with their advantages.
Well, we got Stand United to bring them back forward, but Dove
just
has
don't
to
die.
go golden. Exactly right. Ghost, he'll turn up again. Pop Blossom's
Pop
in.
Blossom.
Dove explodes. Joker will follow soon. Colossal smashes there, but it's a double kill now for the Neeko. And I've decided that Sona Neeko is the most disgusting combo in the mid game because the slows are permanent and the heals are perpetual. Ghost is going to go down extraordinarily low. Crimson Rush keeps him alive. As Summit, he's going to try and throw his face forward. The flash from Deft. He turns around once again, but you've got an ultimate one more time, and Summit is straight up tilted this game.
Summit saying go next.
Oh my god. There isn't a next LS. This is game 2.
Oh man. He's so tilted, you can
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. Alright. Let's take a look at the replay.
Do we want to see
quick.
this one again? Do we really want to see it again?
This is the oh no 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 moment as Joker tries to taunt, and you know, you don't poke the bear. And actually, Sejuani is using the bear this
using
game,
the bear
so
skin. They are literally poking the bear.
So Dove with the World Ender uses his flash to get the reset right there, and Naehyun able to go up over the wall. And as
In
we're
the
coming
meantime,
back into
Joker is
live,
dead.
Yeah, Joker's dead again. So
That
SANDBOX
little
look really,
snapback was a cutie.
they actually do look really tilted. It's not so often that you can look at a pro team and be like, they're really off kilter, but SANDBOX are definitely off kilter.
Yeah, and I feel like SANDBOX are, but it's mostly Summit, right? Because he had such an advantage early. He was trying to push it. But sometimes when you lose the game elsewhere, you have to play with the respect of a losing lane, even if you are winning. Summit was unable to work that one out. It's a little bit sad as Kingzone continue to push. Feels like they don't even need a Baron buff at this point. 6,000 gold is the lead, as the Glacial Augment means that no one can dive on top of the Sona.
Yeah. And
Song of Celerity means everyone's really fast and their opponents are really slow. It's like an extra added slow effect.
And look at the way that they're itemizing on the side of SANDBOX. There's no Maw out on the Aatrox, no Wit's End on the Irelia, because you really need the Titanic Hydra. That's important.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a big one.
You do have the Morello on Vlad, which is actually a really, really good purchase right here. And you can see that Shen can't seem to make up his mind if he wants to go... I don't know if he's going to complete Solari and then Knight's Vow, or what way he's going to go with this, but...
I don't know whether he's going to be able to purchase any more items this game, you know? Like, it's not exactly...
Yeah.
Like, they're making a lot of money here on the SANDBOX side. This game is in entire control.
Why does Olaf have a black cleaver? You want to... Can you break that down?
Lower their armor, dude. That's what he wants to do.
Okay.
Cut down, shred the armor, so that they can go in and kill him. That's the plan. Yeah. Dove has the same idea.
What happens when the enemy team doesn't have a lot of armor?
well, you get less use out of the Black Cleaver.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. I just wanted to confirm that with you.
Yeah, yeah. No, it hasn't been hotfixed or anything like that. It's hotfixed to cut magic resist now. It's just to troll everyone. As Deft is looking for Ghost, he's going to find him. That's a lot of damage now as Deft's getting turned around. Hemoblade comes in. Deft has the Seraph's Embrace, and that's a huge taunt onto 3 members of SANDBOX. Hextech Ultimatum comes down there as well. First death takes a long time, but it's going to be Kingzone. Taunt lands onto Ghost. You ain't going anywhere, my friend. That's a big E to the face. And Rascal's taking his revenge. Triple kill as Joker goes down, and Ghost is going to be next on the chopping block. Song of Celerity means that Deft catches up so easily, and Aatrox goes down. Deft grabs that kill, and that's going to be all she wrote. SANDBOX, not too much more to offer this series.
In a really similar turn of events from game number 1, it took one really big mistake from SANDBOX, and that's all that Kingzone needed to salvage the game state, turn it around, and create a very, very bad position for SANDBOX to be in. Capitalized. And now they're going to end up...
Well, Deft is going to go down, ruins his KDA. He hadn't died this game, and takes his first death on the fountain because he mistimed it. No one was hitting the Nexus, but this is a very happy Kingzone at the top of the table. Sole possession of first place after week 1, guys, because there's no way that either of our next 2 teams are going to catch up to them. 4-0. That's some statement play out of the team that was in turmoil moving into this.
Yeah, I mean, Kingzone, like we were saying earlier, they looked like the second best team come spring finals, even though they weren't in it. So coming into summer, there was a lot of questions a lot of people had in regards to where was their strength and where are they going to actually compare to some of the teams. And so far, they're looking really good. They fell behind in Game 1 and in Game 2. Game 2 was actually looking really, really rough.
Yeah, really rough.
But thanks to MVP Summit, they were able to come back the game and salvage everything. And then, once they got the lead, they never let it go for a second.
They didn't. I think as soon as that Baron went down, it felt like things were almost all over at that point in time. Got some Western fans in the audience there. Hopefully they're enjoying their new English radios. Shout out to you guys, because we finally have them here at LOL Park. LS is struggling yet again to figure out the MVP of this series. And I think as soon as you're struggling, that's a great sign for a team, because everyone played well around what was a bit of a disaster in the early stage of the game.
If it let me vote for the other team, I might...
Yeah, you might hand it over to Summit for the MVP.
Summit was definitely Kingzone's MVP this game, but...
However, he was able to do what he was supposed to do in the early game, right? He put Rascal in a hole.
Yes. He did a phenomenal job. He was dominant. He was lane kingdoming the lane so well. But then, 2 really big blunders that are just absolutely unnecessary. Throw away everything. They had double mountain. They were set up for everything to just go well.
Yeah.
And then, in the blink of an eye, everything just fell apart. And so, the difficulty for me trying to determine, well, who gets MVP this game is Deft had some really nice crescendos. He had some really nice ability usage in a lot of the team fights, but it was Cuzz that reversed the problem that was present in top lane.
That is a good
Dropped
point.
everything on Wolves, got the ball rolling, and if it's not
you just saw that moment and you were so proud of him, weren't you? You saw that moment, you were like, you're playing to win the game, not to get that extra 60 gold from the Wolf
You're
camp?
not mad at your top lane.
That is beautiful. That is actually a beautiful moment in League of Legends. And Cuzz and Rascal are the 2 players that I think shocked the most people in 2019. Really coming out of their shells. These are 2 players that Cuzz, of course, was the main jungler and then got replaced by Peanut. And then Rascal was sitting behind Khan for so long here on Kingzone. And he's really stepped up and been his own player here. And even in adversity, up against Summit, getting trashed in the early game.
Yeah,
he didn't get tilted.
Oh, the better top. Well, better top wins. What am I talking about?
That's a yikes. That's a yikes for me, because he got slaughtered in that game. There's no 2 ways to say it. However, he kept his mental, and they won the game elsewhere.
Oh, you mean Rascal did?
I'm talking about Rascal.
Yeah, okay, because...
Yeah, no, Summit did not.
Play the clip of Irelia running down.
That might be in the highlight reel.
I hope it is, actually. I really do want to see it again. You don't get to see moments like that in pro play that often.
It's just ganks onto Summit, and him YOLOing up the mid lane to run it down. That's going to be it. Is that it?
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, honestly, at that point when he was just running up the mid lane, that was desperation for good reason. Because they just lost a 20-minute Baron off a terrible team fight. And as you can see here, that was Rascal getting pummeled. And this
is where it
was
started.
Cuzz giving it all back.
Yeah, this was Summit needlessly being way too far up in the lane. There's no reason for him to be here. In Kingzone, they were quick to punish.
Yeah.
And this happened one more time, and that's all that it took for them to eventually convert into the Baron and get everything. This was the crescendo Just Dance moment.
Preventing the Vladimir from getting any value around a Baron that was very, very low was actually a huge moment for Deft. As this was an example of Kingzone's composition in the mid-game being absolutely filthy.
I have no idea what Ghost was doing right here. I mean, this is where I started to think, okay, they're definitely tilted.
Well, I mean, he thought he'd caught Deft out of position. That's what he thought.
He can't kill Sona. She has Seraph's Embrace. She has Cleanse.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We know that.
All right.
And also, Kingzone weren't out of position. Deft was just baiting. That was why he was further forward.
Okay. Triple kill. Not impressed.
Not impressed?
Why isn't it a quadra?
Well, because he can't be in multiple places at once.
Why not?
Ooh, that's a good point. We need to integrate that into Camille's kit. We need to give her a realm warp on a trinket bomb. Why don't we do that?
미드 안 밀린다. 미드 안 밀려.
네, 열었다. 일단 한번 볼게요. 우리
Said I pushed top, I'm coming, I'm teleporting.
이렐리아.
Irelia.
빼면서. 천천히.
Go back.
강이 살려.
It was just too many of these AoE ultimates, man.
Now talking about Aatrox to say nice.
이속 줄게. 끝났다.
Now it's over.
아트치 끊으면 끝나.
And also,
끝나도
Cuzz
끝나.
so vocal in these team fights as well.
I don't get to see the Irelia.
진짜 광이 너무 못하는 거 아니야?
아니 근데 진짜
That's
너무
in my
힘들어요.
highlight
진짜
reel.
기절할 것 같아요, 저.
If anyone asked me about Kingzone versus SANDBOX,
I want to see what your
Set
highlight
two.
reels would
Yeah,
look
근데
like.
결론은
Your
그냥
highlight reels would be like
샌드카밀로-
taking a Gromp down after it's like rubber banded 3 times and like people running it down mid lane. That's going to be your highlight reel, LS.
oh man, freezing away.
and just like a solo shot on a Karthus while he's pressing ultimate. Like that's going to be it. As Deft eventually dies. So no MVP for you, Deft. You died on the fountain. That means that you are out of the running for that particular award. And as you could see, it was Summit against the world. Somehow, wait, is that a bug? How did he do 25k damage? I guess that's what happens when you pick
bashes
Quest.
on Shen.
Yeah, he was just smacking Shen the entire laning phase.
He was really smacking Shen around.
And how did Rascal do more damage than Summit? Whoa, this game took a turn for the yikes after about 18 minutes in, I think.
You know, though, if you're a SANDBOX fan, it takes a lot of skill to actually get into the positions that they were in.
Yeah.
And on a mechanical level, they were doing really, really well, especially up in top lane.
And on the
Both
bottom
games.
side, the double kill for the Vladimir was fantastic.
Both games, they were doing really, really well. And to lose to Kingzone, I don't think is really indicative of anything that you should be concerned about. Because there's a chance that Kingzone's potentially the best in LCK. We don't actually know.
And also there's an argument that Kingzone was second best in the LCK in the spring season as well, being the team that was looking better against SKT in the playoff run. And
Griffin got rolled over.
Yeah, they did. They got absolutely trashed. So I think that this is a Kingzone that people can get excited about, and this is not a SANDBOX that you should be really counting out just yet. They're not KT, okay? It might have Deft on it, but they're not KT. Therefore, and also, there's no pawn there anymore, so it's even less KT than Kingzone were in the spring season. Although, you know, of course, he is still part of the organization, guys. If Pawn puts himself back together again, then in theory, he could be back later on. After the first round robin, you can announce different sub-players and things like that. So fingers crossed that Pawn will be making his way back in. But right now, we don't miss him all that much because Naehyun has been playing very well. A lot of his teleports in that game were very, very good, although the bottom lane didn't go necessarily as well as it should have. His pop blossoms towards the mid and late game of game number 2 were great.
What happens for a team that doesn't have subs if a player's ill? Do they forfeit?
I guess he just plays when he's ill. You know?
Or do they play 4v5?
Maybe. I guess they...
Do they put him into the support role and put him on Yuumi? And
I don't know, man.
Is that what happens?
Cuzz is
MVP
going to get
double
back
MVP.
to back. MVPs, exactly. And I love that we put this one up. This is the one.
Yeah.
Sack your wolf camp to
That's
kill the fed top laner, and that won you the game.
The Korean casters know too. This
Yep.
was the the true highlight that got everything started.
This is what every solo queue jungler is just like, why? How did he make that decision?
Yeah, yeah.
CC의 멍멍이 되어주거라.
Oh, I want to know what he just said, but I can't understand the Korean just yet.
It's all right.
One
We'll
day.
get there one day.
One day. Hopefully he's going to be able to reiterate during the MVP interview that he will be taking solo because he was the man that took all of them by himself. And Ji-Sun can let us know exactly what was going on. And that's going to be happening right now, so let's throw it over to Ji-Sun.
샌드박스 상대로 승리를 가져가겠습니다. 킹존의 MVP 커즈 선수 모실게요. 안녕하세요.
Cuzz, the solo MVP of Kingston DragonX.
네, 커즈 선수를 필두로 킹존이 차근차근 승수를
킹존,
쌓아나가고 있습니다.
You guys
오늘도
got
정말
the
기분
second
좋으실
victory of
텐데요.
the split.
소감
How do you feel
들어볼게요.
right now?
이제 썸머 시즌 들어서
Well, starting
경기도
from
이제
the summer split,
첫 주 잘 풀리고
this is
있고
our
또
first week. I
MVP도
think it's going
감독으로
quite
받게
well,
돼서
and
되게
I'm really
기분
happy
좋은 것
with the
같아요.
solo MVP today.
헤어 스타일도 좀
And I like your new hair.
많이 하신 것 같은데
I guess you guys are trying a lot of new things.
점 스스로 느끼는 게 있으신가요?
Do you think that Kingston has stepped up a lot compared to the spring
일단
split?
항상 마인드는
Our mindset is like we're just gonna keep doing what we have been doing and also keep
그
improving.
점을 지키면서 열심히 준비하고
That's
있어요.
our focal point,
네,
and
앞으로가
we're
더
doing our best.
기대되는 커즈 선수입니다. 자, 1세트 뱀픽이 정말 재밌었어요.
So game one, the
이시
draft
화력,
was really
가장 큰
impressive
무게를
because
두시고
you guys
그렇게
had a very
구성을
great
하셨던 건가요?
engaged
킹존의
composition.
생각은
Was that all set up beforehand?
이 세트를 방금 끝내서 뭔가 잘
Well,
기억은 안
game 2 just
나지만
ended, so I don't really remember about the game 1, but we had Sejuani on our side, so we had a lot of CCs, so maybe that was the most
네,
important
또
thing.
가장 화제가 됐던 게 서포 타릭인데요.
And also,
신화와의 조합 아니면
Tarek
요즘에
support
잘
was
힘들다라는
also
얘기가
very
있는데
impressive because
킹존에서
everyone was
어떻게
expecting to
생각하세요?
coming up with Sona. What are your
사실 저는
thoughts?
이제 보트요 형들이 너무
Well, actually,
생각해서
our
그냥
bot
믿고
laners are
가만히
so
있기
good,
때문에
so I
잘
just trust
모르지만
them. So I don't know
쓰는 걸
a
보니까
lot,
정말
but
좋은 픽이라고 생각해요.
well, based on today's performance, I
네,
think it's a
알겠습니다.
really
오늘
viable pick.
말씀하셨듯이 뭐 바텀에 대한 믿음 때문일까요? 좀 탑 위주로 많이 봐주시는 편이던데.
So you
이것도
were
뭐
actually
팀의
playing
전략이었나요?
around the top lane, so was that also part of your
픽이
strategies?
정해지고 게임 내에서도 그렇게
After we finished our
얘기가
champ select
정해져서
and
이제
before going
얘기에
into
맞게
game, we
플레이를
had
잘한
some
것 같아요.
conversation, and that was part of our
네,
plan.
그리고 2세트에서도 세주안이 꺼내셨습니다.
Game 2,
1, 2세트
you also
때
played
세주안이가
Sejuani.
좋은 활약 보여주셨는데 요즘 정말 많이 나오고 있는 픽이잖아요.
And Sejuani is one of the main champion currently in jungle, so do you agree that it's an S tier
확실히
champion?
좋은 픽이라 생각하고
I think
좀
it's really
많이
good,
안정적이라서
and it's really
그리고 또
stable,
이니시가 좋아서 쓰는 것
and
같아요.
it also has a good, great
네, 그리고
engagement
2세트에서는
and initiation, so I think it's really good.
탑에서 1회를 끊으면서 반격이
Game 2 was not really easy, but since you guys took that Irelia in top lane, you guys were able to turn their game around.
아무래도 제가 먼저 거는 게 가장 좋은 그림이라서
Well,
제가
me
가는
opening
데를 보고
fight
있었고,
is the best scenario,
그러면서도 팀이랑
so I was
얘기가
looking
되고
for the
있어서
angle.
이때 올라프가
And also we
올라프가
had
아래에 보여서
good backups,
그때
and we
바로
knew that
갈 수
Olaf
있었던
is
것
the
같아요.
boss side, so we were able to kind of pull that off really well. And Galio was coming for a backup as well.
그렇게 갈리오의 커버가 정말 좋았고 조코 선수가 정말 잘 도망가면서 생각보다 시간이 오래 걸렸어요.
Joko was showing a great escape over there actually, but you guys did finish him.
그럴 수 있었는데 아끼면서 잡았어요.
Well,
네, 스킬도 아껴가면서
Yeah, we were
정말
saving our
깔끔하게
skill shots to finish him.
잡아냈습니다. 자, 요즘에는 데프트 선수가 인터뷰를 하시기도 했는데
And
데프트
Deft
엔딩까지
also
안
said
오고
that
그 전에
he doesn't really need Deft ending no more because all the players on the top side can end the game early.
편해하는 편인가요? 아니면 그래도
So is
나의
he
활약이 좀
satisfied with the current
필요하지 않을까?
situation, or does he want to carry more?
일단 요즘 뭔가 편하게 생각하시는 것 같긴 한데
I think he's feeling a little bit more comfortable nowadays, but I think he really wants the MVP, so he's a little bit sad, maybe.
제가 여기 있네요.
Well, I'm here right now.
아, 커즈 선수의 활약이 오늘 너무 돋보여서 단독 MVP 이렇게 가져가셨습니다. 요즘 뭐 타잔 선수, 킬리드 선수에
Recently,
이어서
Fans
또
are saying that
보물이다
Tarzan,
그런 얘기가
Quid,
나오고
and you,
있어요.
Cuzz,
킹존의
are the gems of
보물로서
LCK
오늘
jungle.
경기 만족스러우신지
Are you satisfied with your
마지막으로
performance today?
오늘 경기도 되게
Today,
내용도
well,
많이
the
좋았던
game
것
was
같고
really nice,
팀원이랑 더
especially the
믿음도
performance.
생기고
Also, our
더
teamwork
배워간 게
was
있는 것
really good,
같아서
and
더 좋은
our
것 같고
trust in each other was
잘
really solid. We
마무리해서
learned a lot.
다음 또 더 잘
I think we
준비해서
can do
꼭
better and prepare really hard for the
성적
upcoming
내고
series.
네, 감사합니다. 여러분 큰 박수 보내주시길 바랍니다. 자, 1주차에 이렇게 좋은 모습 보여주셨으면 2주차에
It's a great first week for Summer Split, so we'll be looking forward to week number 2. And thank you very much for this
네,
interview.
킹존의 커즈 선수 만나봤습니다. 중계상
This will be the end
연결할게요.
of the interview with Cuzz, and I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for the translation. Great to hear from Cuzz there as well. And one thing that really stood out to me from what he said was that he was just happy with the teamwork and the performance. And I think that is representative as why it was so hard to put down exactly who gets the MVPs, because it was just Kingzone playing as a unit, trusting each other, and winning the game with proactive play, and that is how you win League of Legends on this patch. I am ready to bow to our new Kingzone overlords here in the LCK.
Well, before you do that, though, we actually have an exciting match coming up later tonight. In a little bit over an hour.
A little bit over an hour. The Freaks will be back.
The Freaks will be back, and a lot of people were a little bit impressed with their last game.
Were you one of them? No. I mean,
I'm
they did lose. So.
I'm not impressed easily, right?
Yes, I know that. I know that.
So
I was impressed, though, and it's easier to impress me, but I was impressed by Yuko and his turnaround in performance.
He's back!
Yeah, man.
Finally.
And he made Azir look like a champion worth picking as well, which was cool, because
That's a hard
in
feat.
every other region, it is not exactly something that's super great. But here we go. Kingzone are out in front. That is an insurmountable lead as far as first week standings are concerned.
You like how Kingzone's the only blue background team on the left side?
Oh, does that mean that...
I think this is a spoiler, Rise of the Skywalker or whatever.
Ooh,
you know what I'm talking about?
And the fall of the FLICKR just for equilibrium's sake.
There you
Is
go.
that what's going to have to happen?
KT, of course.
Yeah.
Has to be on the right-hand side, so you know how that works.
Yeah, it's not super great. I love that KT as well. 0 points right now, able to even things up with their 2-0 win and 0-2 loss. And a little bit unfortunate towards the bottom of the table, but a FLICKR Freaks versus SKT is going to be a really interesting one.
I really hope we don't have another East versus West type thing going on this split, where
with
the bottom
the losingest
four,
teams versus the winningest teams sort of thing. At the moment, it's already sort of set itself out to not have, like, remember, spring season was super weird. It was like undefeated teams versus defeated teams, right? It was really that sort of dichotomy. This time around, certainly not going to be the case. And guys, you're going to have to wait about an hour until SKT will be taking on a FLICKR, but then, after that point, we will have concluded the first week, and we'll be able to see who will be the reigning champions on top of the LCK. Stick with us. It's a long break. We'll see you after.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, all with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning. Together we'll be winning. With you I'm a savage. Make my song. this place won't grind